Hey guys, crazy position for you here. And despite the fact that black has two rooks, it's actually white to play and win. White's pawns are going forward in this direction. Before I say anything else, if you'd like to pause, what's the winning move here for white? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, the winning move is c6, which is actually a fork on the rooks. And before we talk about why that's the winning move, let's talk about why these moves don't work, because you might have been tempted to just grab one of these rooks right away. So for example, if you take this rook, black's going to simply take you back. And now you have a problem that you can't really push any of your pawns and do anything because the rook's just going to sit there. The king's going to take this. He's going to take this. He's going to take this. You're going to lose. Okay. And the same thing is going to happen if you take this rook right away. Black's going to take you. And I mean, look at your pawns. They're not really going to be able to go anywhere. The rook simply is going to take everything and you're going to lose. So c6 is a very clever move because you delay capturing one of the rooks until you can do it in a better way that's going to give you at least two connected passed pawns. Okay, two connected pawns is much more powerful than just a single, lone passed pawn like this, right? This is very easy for a rook to stop. But if you imagine if you take here and you get two pawns, that's a different story. Or if you take here and you get two pawns, now the rook's going to have a problem. So with that in mind, black has a trick up their sleeve. But before we look at their trick, let's just look at some random moves that they might try. Like, let's just say they move their rook here. What are you going to play? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, obviously we have to take the rook. The question is, which way do we take it? And the correct answer is with the c pawn. And the reason is if you take this way, black simply captures here with check. And you don't have time to get your queen. And they have time to get behind. They're going to take everything and they're going to win. Okay? But if you take the other way, black is in trouble. Because now there's no more check. You're threatening to get a queen here. And black actually has no way to stop this. Look at the position of the rook carefully. You can't go there to try to stop it, because I would just take you. You can't take me or I'll just take you. Sorry, like this. And if the king takes, it's just too slow because, again, I'm just going to get a queen. I'm going to win. So there's no way for black to win. And really, any other rook move kind of like this, like let's say they go over here, you're going to have a way to win. What's the winning move here for white? You had a chance to look at that. It's a takes b7. You want to open up the pawn here to create the, two connected passed pawns. And even though the rook could try to stop you, once you play c7, this is a key move here, this is going to be just winning every time. The rook can never stop this because you can really choose whatever you want. You get the queen, and there's always going to be another pawn to recapture. Okay? So with that in mind, it looks like, hey, we've done it, right? But wait a second. Black has a trick up their sleeve, and they play the move rook to d1. Now, what move should we play against this one? If you had a chance to look at that, we do have to capture with the a pawn because we need to create this threat of the two pawns, right? This is a crucial part of this position. But now black plays an incredible move, king to f6. And maybe you can figure out what black is planning, but I'll go ahead and let you pause. What should we play here? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, hopefully you didn't say get the queen, because now we fall right into black's trap here of the rook coming over. Our king is stuck on the side here. We have to sacrifice our queen, and the game is over. We get checkmated. Okay? So essentially what black is doing is saying, look, I'm going to let you get a queen because I'm threatening something more powerful, checkmate over here on the h-file. And now we have to figure out, okay, what do we do to stop that? White to play and win. If you had a chance to look at that, very tricky position, because when I first saw this, I was tempted to say that the move was going to be king takes h7 and just run around with your king, and eventually you're going to be able to get away from the checks, I thought, and win the game. That's actually the wrong move. The correct move is king to h5. So let me show you why this is the wrong move, and then we'll come back and see why king to h5 is correct. Okay, so if you made the mistake and said you were going to capture here, black's going to play rook to h1 check. Only move for you is to go to g8. Then black's going to play rook to g1 check. And your only move is to go over here to f8 and run, like I said, because if you try to go back here, they're just going to go back and forth until it's a draw. Okay, so you have to go to f8. And then black plays rook to h1. And again, be careful here. What should you play? That's correct. You have to keep running. Hopefully you didn't say get a queen, because if you said that, you're going to get checkmated again. We don't want that. So we keep running. But now black takes, and guess what? It's the same threat. Of course, if we try to run this way, they're always just going to move their king, and that doesn't really help us. So we have to keep going. And here, black comes down with a check. Only move for us is king to c7. And now black actually has a move here to save the game and get a draw. See if you can figure out black's move. Black to play and save the game in this position. You got a chance to look at that. It's king to d5. And what black is basically saying is, look, you can go ahead and get your queen, but I'm going to sacrifice my rook for it. And when you recapture, I've positioned my king now to take this extra pawn. And this is a big deal because even though you take black's pawn, black plays king to c7, and your king is stuck over here on the a file, and you can't get out of the way of the pawn. For example, you go here, black goes here, black just keeps mirroring you. Now, some of you might be saying, but wait a second, Nelson, what if I go a6, and when the king goes here, now I can escape, right? The problem is now you have a new problem. King's going to go here, and they're going to just blockade themselves in the corner. And after check, king goes here. Whenever this happens, it's always a draw, especially with these flank pawns. It's very hard to win with a flank pawn because as soon as you go here, it's a stalemate, and you can't do anything else. If you move your king away, they take your pawn. It's just a draw. So that was a long line, but that was black's trick going all the way back to this position, right? When they played king to f6, if we take the pawn and try to run, like I just showed, it doesn't work out, okay? So the only winning move here is king to h5, all right? Now, king to h5, you might be thinking, well, can't black do a similar type of thing? Well, watch what's going to happen. King to f5, white to play and win. What do we do? King to h4, that's correct. So black says, okay, white to play and win. What do we do? The winning move here is not king h3. Now, if you look carefully, look at this. It's in line with the queening square. And so we can simply get a queen. It puts the black king in check. And of course, now that we have the queen, the game becomes pretty simple. You just do whatever you want. You're not going to lose this game at this point and to win for white. So fascinating puzzle. You just had to kind of see the trick there that black had of going for the checkmate as well as that drawn endgame, which was a little bit hard to see. But I had fun with that one. I thought it was pretty interesting, especially when you look at this starting position. It's like there's no way that white's going to be able to win this, right? But actually you can. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.